The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit dubby.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Monday for the first time in a long time. Hopefully I get to see some of my friends who are used to being on the show here, hanging out with your boy, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Yes, it was a, 6-month hiatus away from 8 o'clock in the morning time where we were so used to doing the show at that point in time. You get a new job, it kind of messes up with some of the stuff you want to do in life. But you know what? I'm a happy guy. I'm blessed that I have the job that I have. And I am even more blessed that I have the time once again to be here with you all 8 o'clock in the morning, talking about sports, talking about whatever, really. If you're new to the stuff that we do, that I do, you run the show. I'm just some dude. I hang out here. You tell me what it is you want to talk about. If I have anything to say about it, I will talk about it as well. Normally, I will begin the topics on my own. But we have some people, hopefully they come back soon, some regulars that we had back in the past that might be joining us here. But I'm going to get the show started. You all tell me where you want to go with this conversation. The NBA season is finally over. All 82 games of the regular season have been played, and now we are going into the playoffs. Let's take a look here at what the playoff bracket, would look like. This is going to be courtesy of ESPN. Let's go ahead and get ready to share the screen. Been a while since I've done some of this stuff, so I got to remember what it is that I'm doing. I'm filibustering while it buffers. Boom. There it is. The NBA playoff bracket. Currently, as we stand, the Thunder are the number 1 seed in the West. The Spurs are the number 2 seed in the West. The Nuggets beat the Spurs yesterday, and if you haven't been paying attention to basketball, which I don't expect a lot of people have, but if you haven't been paying attention to basketball, you would not have known that the San Antonio Spurs have won 30 out of 34 games, which sounds amazing, right? Like the way they ended the season, winning 30 out of 34 games. Absolutely phenomenal. But, and then there's that caveat, there's that but, that ugly word that I don't want to hear, that ugly ass word that I don't want to hear, but referring to the San Antonio Spurs winning 30 out of 34 to end the season. 3 of those 4 losses were to the Denver Nuggets. It happened again yesterday. The San Antonio Spurs losing to Denver yesterday. Last game of the season. What way to walk in to the playoffs. It was a close game. It was fun. No Wembanyama. I don't think Jokic played the second half. It was a fun game. Genuinely fun as a Spurs fan. This entire season has been fun. I've been bottling up all the emotions possible about this NBA season because I haven't had a platform to talk about the NBA, the stuff that I did recently, hanging out with my friends at the Lockdown Coverage podcast, who have been doing a phenomenal job in my absence since the minor league baseball season started. The San Antonio Spurs are a really good team. They're giving me hope. And the worst thing, if you've paid attention to this show at all in the past, the worst thing you can do is give me hope. And that's exactly what the San Antonio Spurs have done. They have given me hope. But watching them lose 3 games out of 4 games over a 34-game span, which I know, again, it sounds like I'm nitpicking. It sounds like I'm being a jerk, right? They've won 30 out of 34. I shouldn't be this weird about it. I'm a weird guy. If you know anything about, I'm a weird guy. I accept my flaws, all of them. But they lost 3 of those 4 losses were to the Denver Nuggets. As a San Antonio Spurs fan, I do not want to see the Denver Nuggets at all. That is still a dangerous team with who I believe is the best player in the NBA right now and someone who should be thought of as one of the greatest players in NBA history. And I will say it again as something that's gotten me in trouble before in the past. Someone who I think could be considered the greatest player in NBA history in Nikola Jokic. I know. You're going to look at me and say, Tip, you're an idiot. Not debating that. But if you sit there and you look at what Nikola Jokic has done over his NBA career, Augustine Pimentel saying, who is this? What is this? What are we doing here? If you look at what Nikola Jokic has done over his NBA career, there is no denying that basketball playing loaf of bread is one of the greatest players of all time. And then you compare those individual stats, and you see he's the only player in NBA history to lead the league in rebounding and assists in the same season. He's averaging, yet again, another triple-double. I'm going to go and I'm going to find Nikola Jokic's I'm going to look and see, because I want to say it's his, 3rd straight year of averaging a triple-double. Augustine saying, wow, it's like the past has hit us. A little blast from the past, baby. I was gone for a minute. Now I'm back. Let me hit it. I think that was Baby Bash that said that, right? Augustine is not the person to ask about that. I don't think Augustine has ever listened to a Baby Bash song. We're looking it up. All in Nikola Jokic's stats. This is the second time in his season that basketball playing loaf of bread, that jar of mayonnaise, has averaged a triple-double for the entire season. Averaging a triple-double for the entire season, Nikola Jokic. Augustine saying, nope, what is that? Baby Bash. I mean, that's what I'm not going to say it. It's too early in a comeback of the show for me to start saying some of those jokes. We've got to let the newer audience, there was a spike of audience there at the start of the show. I lost them just by talking, just by being me. but maybe they come back. Maybe we'll see about that. But the second season that this basketball playing loaf of bread has averaged a triple-double. Once again, the only player in NBA history. Augustine saying, ha, 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 you said comeback. I did. It's everybody's favorite. Absolutely everybody's favorite. But the second time in his career, he averages a triple-double, the only player in the history of the NBA to lead the league in rebounding and assists. You cannot deny that the best player in basketball today is Nikola Jokic. Maybe it's going to be Victor Wembanyama in the next year or two, but as of right now, we keep waiting for the downfall, right? We keep waiting to see how's it going to impact the Denver Nuggets, because we know that Jokic isn't going to be able to sustain. We keep talking about this stuff. There's kind of the same way people were praying on the downfall of Tom Brady. You think it's going to happen. You feel like it's going to happen. But is it going to happen? Actually, probably not, right? Everyone keeps thinking that Jokic cannot keep doing this. There is no flash to his game. He's not uber athletic. He doesn't rely on athleticism. He just simply goes out there and does what the hell he wants to do, dominating the game of basketball. And he's been the most dominant basketball player in a league that features LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, and all these other freakish athletes that are out there. The most dominant player is a guy that looks like he can come off the couch and go play beer league softball. We've got to start giving this dude the credit he deserves, man. I get it. Maybe it's xenophobia. Maybe it's whatever. We don't want to say he's the greatest basketball player we've ever seen because it looks weird. It looks lazy. It looks whatever. Nikola Jokic is the greatest basketball player we have ever seen. End of discussion. Michael Jordan might be the most dominant basketball player we've ever seen. Talented, gifted, might be LeBron James. But as far as just pure basketball, it's Nikola Jokic, man. It has to be Nikola Jokic. I don't see how anyone can argue that. And again, yes, yesterday's game, the fourth loss in 34 games for the San Antonio Spurs. Jokic goes out there in the first half and damn near has a triple-double. Just doing what he does. It's what he does. It's like another day at work. Augustine saying, nope, sorry, disagree. Why do you disagree? How can you disagree? What is the difference? Right? We are talking about utterly dominant. We can talk about Shaq. Shaq would not be able to stop this guy. Conversely, Jokic probably wouldn't be able to stop Shaq either. But it wouldn't like that would be a matchup made in heaven, right? Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't be able to stop Nikola Jokic. Again, I know it sounds weird, especially for older dudes like Augustine. I didn't get to watch Larry and Magic, right? I grew up watching Michael Jordan. I will always say that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. End of discussion. But we cannot sit there and deny that Nikola Jokic is dominant, that he dominates this game of basketball. How many times have we seen Jokic where it's perfect defense? Anthony Davis was like the poster boy of this. It's perfect defense. And somehow Jokic just brings it back, drains that three, way the hell from out wherever. He did that to not just Anthony Davis, who was a tremendous defender, but to the ultimate cheat code in the NBA of Victor Wembanyama. He was able to, Nikola Jokic was able to get that shot off, that weird-looking, high-arching shot over Victor Wembanyama. If you can make that shot over Victor Wembanyama, who's in the air, who has a 35-inch vertical jump, extended out his arms at 7'5", you can hit that shot over him. You can hit that shot against anybody. And not to mention the passing ability, the rebounding ability. Sure, maybe there's a lack of defense. Oh, my God. Nikola Jokic would dominate Alonzo Mourning. Maybe not so much Akeem Olajuwon, maybe not so much David Robinson. He and Duncan did play against each other, but it was after Duncan's prime and well before Jokic's prime. I think that'd be a fun matchup. But again, I'm not talking about like one-on-one matchups. Compare Jokic's numbers, what he's been able to do for his career. None of those guys. And again, we're talking about freakish athletes in David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon. Dudes that got a quadruple double. The last time a quadruple double happened was Akeem Olajuwon and David Robinson. And if I'm not mistaken, it happened on the same day. I don't think it was against each other, though. Got to look that up. Olajuwon got his on March 29th, 1990. And David Robinson got his on my birthday in 1994, the day I turned 10 years old. The Admiral, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 blocks. That's wild. That is such a wild stat. You look at the one for Akeem Olajuwon, 18, 16, 10, and 11. That is insane to me. Augustine saying, question, Duncan Robinson and others played day in, day out against top-tier talent. Jokic doesn't. Jokic does play the majority of the games, right? Like he really does. I know people are going to say, oh, well, yesterday he got to the 65-game threshold, and if you don't know, you have to play 65 games in order to get eligible for MVP, like off-season awards. You have to play a minimum of 65 games out of 82. So you only missed 17, right? And you say that there's no top-tier talent out there. Again, I always feel like we look at the era of sports or the era of anything that helped shape and mold who we were as children with rose-colored lenses. Half of the big guys that played in the NBA back in the day, like let's talk about Shaq, right? So yes, you had a plethora of bigs that were out there that were really awesome guys, right? We're just talking about the 5 position now. During Shaq's time, Shaq, David Robinson, Akeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing. 4. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but we're not going to put Ronnie Cycli on here. We're not going to put Luke Longley. We're not going to put Sean Bradley in this conversation. We're not going to put Manute Bol. I'm just going off the dome of centers in the 90s and 2000s, like early part of the 2000s. We're not going to put Mark Eaton in this conversation. And yes, Mark Eaton was a great defensive player, could not score a basket to save his damn life. We're not putting Vlade Divac in this conversation. Maybe Arvydas Sabonis, but what we got of Arvydas Sabonis was a watered-down version of Arvydas Sabonis. We all agree with that. There were 4 dominant bigs in that time. Maybe we put Dikembe Mutombo there, but again, not super dominant. I know you're going to come back at me with Alonzo Mourning, not super dominant, good defensively, lacked a little offensively. I'm just trying to go through all of that stuff. You're okay. You're going to tell me Dwight Howard and Rick Smits and Ben Wallace hold a candle to Nikola Jokic, Vlade Divac, Brad Daugherty. Oh my God, you are done with this conversation. You are done with this conversation. Brad Daugherty is looked at as a bust, an absolute bust. Maybe I'm mixing him up with Sam Bowie, but Brad Daugherty was not good. He was not good at all. We can say Yao, but Yao was kind of disappointing. Greg Ostertag. Now you're just saying names to piss me off. I know that's what you're doing now. There is no way you genuinely believe that. Greg Ostertag, of all the people out there. I'm surprised, being the UTEP guy you are. I'm rocking all the UTEP stuff right now. We haven't brought out Greg Foster, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. Since we're just dusting off old guys and trying to say that they were good. Ostertag would be massacred by Nikola Jokic. He wouldn't know how to handle Nikola Jokic. None of those guys. Maybe Mutombo, maybe Dwight Howard, Patrick Ewing for sure. No way. If you're going to bring out Greg Ostertag as like a big that was awesome, you're drunk. You're just absolutely drunk. Brandon Wolfram. I don't even know who that is. Maybe I've got to like look at it. And yes, I will agree with you. We look at a big that could stop Jokic. Oh my God, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. You make it seem as if Jokic couldn't play basketball. They would not be able to handle Jokic shooting from the outside. All of these statues, outside of Dwight Howard maybe, would not know how to handle a big that can shoot outside of 18 feet. All Jokic has to do is shoot from the outside. Our guy, Tommy Canazza, saying, what up, Tip? Welcome back, bro. What's up, Tommy? Hope that you're having a great time. Glad that you joined us here on a Monday. Whatever are you talking about? Welcome back, though. I'm joking. I said it a little bit earlier. Like Baby Bash said, I was gone for a minute, but now I'm back. Let me hit it. I ain't talking about anything other than the peace pipe. So Leitner was ahead of his time. Leitner couldn't hit a jump shot to save his life. What are we talking about? And you're going to put Christian Leitner up in this conversation. Once again, was a power forward, not a 5. Maybe a 5 in college, but wasn't a 5 in the NBA. Bill Laimbeer would have been dominated by Nikola Jokic. Again, the only bigs that I think going into the past, and like it sucks that we can't, actually do this in real life, so it's just a hypothetical, and you all know I hate hypotheticals, but the only bigs that I think would give Nikola Jokic problems would be Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, probably not even Bill Russell. As much as I love me some Bill Russell, I don't think Bill Russell was big enough to handle Jokic. They were much more physical, so maybe that's what it would be, is like all the physical abilities that they were able to do might be able to stop Jokic. But all those guys were otherworldly athletic. Even Shaq at his biggest was a freak athlete. Jokic is just a fat dude who can't even get off the ground and yet averaged a triple-double for this season. I know, I keep saying Duncan was a 4. You're the one who brought Duncan up. I didn't bring up Duncan. Duncan, he's the most dominant power forward of all time. The greatest power forward of all time. Jokic is certified big. He's 7'1". I think that's the thing people forget too. Jokic is a big dude. He's 7'1", 270? So it's not like he's going to get pushed around by these guys. You bring up Alonzo Mourning, and yes, I loved Alonzo Mourning. Another one of those dudes that looked like he was just cut out of a comic book, right? Now you're just saying shit to say shit. I'm not even going to give that one time. As I drink my coffee here at 8 o'clock in the morning, once again, time for my shenanigans. 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to go to work after this. Nothing should be. I haven't said anything problematic today. Nothing should be brought up. And I get it. You look at today's NBA and you see a bunch of dudes and you say to yourself, okay, these guys are soft. I totally get it. I understand. I get where you're coming from. There's a lot of time off that this league does now, right? It's a lot of player management and load management and all that other nonsense that we have to deal with as NBA fans. Joel Embiid isn't going to be in that conversation of dominant bigs like Hakeem Olajuwon to some people, mainly because of the amount of games that he's missed over his career. Was it 485 missed games total for Joel Embiid in his career? He's only played half his career. But whenever he's on the court, he's a dominant player, right? And I get it. You can sit there and be like, okay, who are the dominant bigs in the NBA now? Well, over the last 3 years, he's had to, or, over his career, Jokic, he's had to go up against Dwight Howard, dominated Dwight Howard. Had to go up against Anthony Davis, dominated Anthony Davis. Not hard to do. Anthony Davis is made out of glass. I get it. Joel Embiid, beating them. Victor Wembanyama, he's the only guy in the NBA that seems to give Victor Wembanyama problems. Chet Holmgren is a pretty solid 5 as well. But I get it. These aren't the names that we grew up with because we look at these guys and say to ourselves, these are the greatest of all time because I saw them play as a kid. Therefore, it justifies me saying that they are the greatest of all time because they shaped who I am in some sort of way, right? You can't deny how awesome Nikola Jokic is. It's an old school style of basketball that he plays. He's like George Mikan. If George Mikan were able to play in today's game, that's what that's like, right? And we look at these guys and we look at them all with like rose-colored lenses and stuff like that. And Augustine saying it's not the names, it's the talent. It's the physical presence. Jokic is a physical dude. I don't know what you're talking. Maybe he's not as big as his brother. That's one of my favorite pictures. It's like seeing the Jokic brothers. Because his oldest brother is an absolute tank. That's a grainy picture. I'm not going to put that up. But yeah, his oldest brother, Jokic's brother. Heck, Rodman would have frustrated him crazy. Rodman did that to everybody, though. Like that's the thing, right? Like Rodman did it to everybody. When have you seen Jokic, though, ever lose his cool? Like, yeah, he almost killed Markieff Morris. He choked that one dude earlier this year. Where's that picture? Was it Lou Dort? Where he looked like he was going to kill Lou Dort? So I know you bring up Dennis Rodman, right? And again, you all know I love me some Dennis Rodman. Again, I'm with you on this. I understand, man. I get it. I was there with you. I watched a lot of it. I look at the game with rose-colored lenses as well. But whenever Jokic grabs you like that, and you get to look in those eyes staring right back at you, you got to realize you're playing against another kind of beast, man. You might have seen some stuff growing up, but this dude right here, this dude grew up in the middle of a civil war. This dude was watching his country get bombed left and right. This is war-torn area that I grew up in a third world country type of crazy that you don't want to deal with. If that came up to you, all 7'1", 280 pounds of that came up to you, you are running the hell away. And you look at him and you say, sir, please do whatever you want. Take whatever you want from me. Even if it's just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that
What a transition. Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Guys, it's been a while since I had to mention, or since I got the privilege of mentioning www.myhappynuts.com. Tommy's saying the kids missed it by 30 seconds. LOL. He saw the post on social. I was like, we're leaving the house early today, buddy. We're leaving the house early today. We're not letting the kids get it. God, I got to come up with a better phrase than that. Wow, that was bad. But Just the Tip brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Check them out today, guys. Invest in yourself. Take care of yourself. If you're married, keep the spark alive. If you're not married, you're single, go out there and meet somebody. Go get yourself a torta, but make sure you're feeling and looking the best you can. And the only way to get there is www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. Get that big wood body wash, and you can smell as good as I do. Just slinging that wood around, baby. Tommy giving us some laughing emojis. It's good. It feels good to be back. Like this feels like my natural habitat. This 8 o'clock show. I remember I dreaded it the first time I did it. What was it, November of 2024? I dreaded an 8 o'clock show. I was like, man, that's early. That is early as all hell. How are we going to get this done? But this feels like home. And I am glad to be home with y'all. Thank you. Augustine, Tommy, thank you for joining us, for joining here, being here, always supporting. Destiny saying, hi, my heart. It caught me off guard seeing all the numbers behind your name. 8825. That was interesting. That feels like a bot. That's very Spamish. I'm trying to figure out the significance of the 8825. 88, I guess I could say Des Bryant. 25? 88, Michael Irvin. 25? Even 2, like 2 and 5. I think like a basketball player, football player, baseball player, Derek Jeter, number 2. There we go. Number 5, Joe DiMaggio. Hey, we figured it out. I know that that's not the case, but why not? We'll just roll with that. That's what it is. It makes sense in my mind. I know those numbers are probably arbitrary. Looks very bottish. Very bottish. Anyway, we were talking about the NBA. That's what I was talking about, at least. And I was looking at the playoff standings. There we go. Took a little while for it to come back. And I got to number 3. That's all I got to, was the 3rd seed. Then I started glazing. That didn't sound good. Praising Nikola Jokic, because the Spurs have won 30 out of 34 games, and 3 of those 4 losses to end the season were against the Denver Nuggets. As a Spurs fan, I don't want to see the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. I just genuinely don't. I feel like it's not going to be good for my mental health, because I have a lot of faith in this San Antonio Spurs team. We're going to get a healthy Victor Wembanyama. Tommy Cananza reminded me about Lance Dunbar was number 25. I had so much faith. I thought Lance Dunbar was going to be a great running back and a great return guy. I had so much faith in Lance Dunbar. I might have been the only one that had faith in Lance Dunbar. But so far, we have the Thunder, the Spurs, and the Nuggets. The 4 seed are the LA Lakers, and they are limping into Houston. No Luka Doncic for the first part of the game. I think Austin Reeves is also hurt. It's going to be a young Houston Rockets team, a fun Houston Rockets team. Kevin Durant, Sengun, and them boys bringing it all, slapping LeBron James, a 41-year-old geriatric LeBron James, in the face, because it's going to have to be a godly type of performance from LeBron James to be able to sustain going to the next round of the playoffs. And I don't want to pray for the downfall, right? Like, as these guys get older, I kind of feel bad. Like, fuck, man, why are you still playing? We're not on Roku, so I get to say the F word. It just popped in my mind. Why are you still playing? It's going to be tough to see. It's going to be tough to see. The Rockets, the number 5 seed. The Nugget, or the Timberwolves, are the number 6 seed. I wanted to see the play-in teams. I know that the Golden State Warriors are the 10th seed. The Portland Trail Blazers and the Phoenix Suns are going to be fighting for the number 1 or for the number 7 seed. Who is 9? Who's the 9th seed? I want to see if I can get it before I look. Because it's the Suns, the Trail Blazers, blank, and the Warriors. Tommy Cananza saying, hey, as everything has changed since the last time I did an 8 o'clock tipping point with Mike Tipton, one thing has stayed the same. Tommy Cananza's never-ending crusade to boycott the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, I understand, dude. I totally understand. God, it's going to bother me. Why can't I get who that team is? It's not Utah. Oh, the Clippers. It's the LA Clippers. Let's scroll down to the Western Conference here. Yeah, so the play-in tournament is going to be the Phoenix Suns, the Portland Trail Blazers, the LA Clippers, and the Golden State Warriors. It should be fun. It should be. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't think Golden State's going to be able to get there. A very disappointing season for the Warriors. 37 wins, 45 losses. That is bad. The Clippers 42-40, along with the Trailblazers at 42-40, and then the Phoenix Suns at 45-37. I'm not sure I'm digging the play-in tournament anymore. Like not with this, right? Like you look at that right there. The Golden State Warriors, 37 wins, 45 losses. That is not a playoff team. The only thing that should be up for debate right here would be these two teams, the Clippers and the Trailblazers, because they're tied at 42-40. Let the Suns be the 7th seed, and now we have a tie-breaking game between the Trailblazers and the Clippers. They play one more extra game, kind of like how baseball used to do it. What I loved about baseball was that they would have 162, and if you were tied at the end of the season, you played head-to-head, and then that winner got to go to the playoffs. Basketball should do that. Like, I'm not digging this part of the play-in tournament. And now we look at the Eastern Conference. Surprisingly better. Philadelphia 45-37, Orlando 45-37, the Charlotte Hornets 44-38, and the Miami Heat 43-39. I kind of want the Hornets to get in there. But again, like, I feel like maybe, okay, I guess the plan for this one, like maybe the play-in tournament should be a little more fluid. Maybe it shouldn't just be one thing all the time. You know what I mean? Because right now the Warriors at 37-45 don't belong in the playoff conversation. I get it. Like, that's a nostalgia team for some people. They grew up watching the Golden State Warriors. Love them some Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry as well. I just, like, it's not a team that deserves to have any that should be anywhere near the playoffs. Just not at all. Not a fan of it. I don't like the way it's looking right now. Let's go back and find our playoff bracket on the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons are number 1. They will be taking on the 8th seed whenever that gets determined after the play-in tournament. If I'm not mistaken, the games that are being played, it'll be the Hornets hosting the Miami Heat. And then trying to remember what it was, 76ers hosting the Magic, I want to say. Yeah, it's right there. Duh. Look at it. But the Pistons are the number 1 overall seed. The Celtics are the number 2 overall seed. What a year. Again, if you haven't been paying attention to basketball, like I know Tommy hasn't because he's boycotting the NBA and the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe he's watching the NBA. It's just the Dallas Mavericks that he's disappointed in. I wanted to text you at the end of March, Tommy, and give you the stat that I saw, but I'm pretty sure you got it drilled into your head that Luka Doncic in the month of March scored more points in that 1 month than Anthony Davis did this entire time as a Dallas Maverick. Anthony Davis, kind of garbage. But the Boston Celtics, a dominating season. No one would have thought. Whenever Jason Tatum went down with the Achilles rupture, no one would have thought that they would be able to tread water, right? Like everyone thought this would be a 500 team. Jaylen Brown, what's he going to do as the leader of the team? Is he going to be able to really hold down the fort until Jason Tatum gets there? And then maybe they make a little bit of a run to the playoffs, but this is probably not going to be their year. But they were a dominant team this year. Then they get Tatum back, and they have the legit ability of making a deep run in the playoffs. They should dominate whoever makes it out of the play-in game for the 7 seed. And this is one of those weird things where I feel like the number 2 seed in both conferences, the Spurs and the Celtics, are better than the number 1 seed in both conferences with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Detroit Pistons. Granted, I had like a piece of my mustache in my mouth. Bah. Got it out though, finally. Thank God. None of y'all wouldn't notice that. I just had to tell you. I was so excited. Got a stray hair from my mustache out of my mouth. It was fun. It was a good time. But I feel like the Pistons and the Thunder, and yes, I know the Thunder are dominant. They've been 25 games better than the second place team over the last 2 years, blah, 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 whatever. 4 of the Thunder's losses this season are to the San Antonio Spurs. Boston, to me, still a better team than Detroit. I like Detroit's future. I think Detroit will be okay, but I still just feel like it's going to be easier for Boston. I just feel that way. The Knicks, the number 3 seed, probably not going to make a deep run. I don't trust the New York Knicks. The Cavs, the 4 seed, maybe they'll be all right. I feel like the Eastern Conference is going to go through Boston and Detroit. They've got to be on a collision course right now. The Raptors at the 5 seed, yawn. The Hawks at the 6 seed. The Hawks have a great offense, but still not anything I'd want to write home about. 76ers, Magic in the 7 and 8. 9 are the Hornets. 10 are the Miami Heat. It really feels like, to me at least, and maybe it's just me being a homer, maybe it's just me being, I've always wanted to see this going back to like the mid-2000s. Maybe this will finally be the year that I get my San Antonio Spurs versus Boston Celtics matchup. I've wanted that for such a long time. There's something about beating Boston that makes me happy. Maybe it's as a Yankees fan. Maybe that's what it is. I just can't stand the Boston Red Sox. So everything Boston, I'm against, morally opposed to. I get this face when someone brings up the Boston Red Sox. That's how incensed the Boston Red Sox make me. That other one is completely different. And not something I'm into. Okay. Looking back at the NBA, the season, the Milwaukee Bucks were a very disappointing team. Because of that disappointment, Doc Rivers, the man with the ashiest voice in the world, is no longer going to be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. It's done. Doc Rivers' time in Milwaukee is over. I know that it's been a thing over the last couple of years. Is Milwaukee going to trade Giannis? What's going to happen with Giannis? Blah, 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 blah. Tommy's saying, let's go Red Sox. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Absolutely disgusting. You know, I had a clip. I think I shared it on TikTok the other day because it was like one of my memories. I had a clip where Tommy said, who gives an F about Major League Baseball this early in the season? I want to say it was like last week. How all of a sudden, a year later, you're like, let's go Red Sox, caring about Major League Baseball because your Dallas Mavericks have let you down so hard, so bad. I love to see the personal growth. I really do. Let's go Yankees. The way they started the season, dominating the New York, the San Francisco Giants, I was like, man, this team's going to be awesome. They got problems. Not sure if you guys know this or not. I've been watching a lot of baseball recently. Some would argue an insane amount of baseball recently. Oh, my goodness. Tommy's saying, I still don't care. I'm just saying go Red Sox. I know that's your team. I am excited, though, guys, because next week is going to be I just wanted to make you throw up. Well, you did. Threw up in my mouth a little bit. That's okay. It's just that acid flavor. That home run to win from the Chihuahuas was amazing. It really was. I know this homestand was not good. They lost 5 out of 6. Some of them were just absolute blowouts. But that walk-off home run on Friday night to come back from being down, I want to say 6, was just incredible. An incredible home run. Augustine, were you there? Were you watching the game? Were you seeing what my crew was doing? There's been a lot of stuff that's gone on over the last couple of months. And these new hires that we have working the cameras, doing all that stuff, like this was their first ever like baseball series. And to see the growth from game 1 to game 6 yesterday has been awesome. It was awesome. Augustine says, I was listening. Sorry. Can you get me tickets? I mean, you can watch on MILB.TV. But I'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. But it was amazing. I have a clip of it. I was going to share it. But I'm building a portfolio to kind of highlight the people that we've got. It's all about giving people a chance. I know how hard it was to break into business here in El Paso. And I do not want it to be that difficult for other people. So we are giving them a platform. I know it's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but it'll be good in the long run. Competition is always a good thing. I've said that a million times. I want someone else to have a show at 8 o'clock in the morning so that way I can go head to head with them and they will dominate my ass and I'll like it. Oh my God. I got to grow up one of these days. Not today, but one of these days. As you all know, one of my favorite events is coming up next week. I will not be able to attend this time, which really makes me sad. It really makes me sad. The NFL draft next week. I will be breaking down. I'm going to spend time this week because I've been listening to all the draft podcasts, all that stuff. While I'm at work, I have nothing but my headphones in, so I don't have to interact with other people because I am socially awkward, and I do not like doing that. However, if you see me out in public, come say hi. I will be nice to you. I'll go feel disgusting later, but I'll say hi to you. Although there was someone I saw on Saturday. I was in a huge rush at the stadium. He said, hi, Tip. And I was like, hey, but I had to leave. I wish I could have gone back and been like, hey, guy, what's up? Hope you're doing well. What's your name? That one. I'm very bad with names unless I've seen you or interacted with you hundreds of times. I apologize. It's me, mea culpa. I am a horrible human being. I have never once denied it. But if you see me out in public, come say hi. It's okay. I actually like it. I just look very unapproachable. And I like it that way. Tommy's saying it's almost time for football. I mean, it's the draft, dude. We've got months to wait on this. Although, my guy Jason Fitz, the voice of the Indoor Football League, my dude B. Strilla saying, Tip, what's up, my guy? What's up, Strilla? Hope that you were good, my guy. I know it's been a while. Like Stain said, it's been a while since I did a show at 8 a.m. It's been a while. Not going to sing anymore. That's enough of that. I got my singing out. Now I don't have to worry about it. Tommy's saying, yo, the draft is when it all starts. I'm with you on that. I will be bringing out all of my draft knowledge. We will have a mock draft. The only thing, the thing that hurts about it is for the first time in 5 years? Jesus. I will not have a draft day show. I will have a show at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I will not have a live draft coverage because the El Paso Chihuahuas will be in town. And as you all know, that is my priority. That is how I get paid. That's how I'm able to pay for the things that I got to in order to do this stuff. That is a priority. We'll do that. I was this close. You guys have no idea. Because my guys from ESPN, James Steele, Pat Costello, the draft is in Pittsburgh. James is from Pittsburgh. James and Pat are going to Pittsburgh. And I had to do the adult thing and put my job and my responsibilities ahead of being selfish. Because yay close to going to Pittsburgh to just hang out with my friends. It's been 2 years almost since I've seen my friends in person. We get drunk on the internet all the time, but 2 years since I've seen them in person almost. So it would have been awesome. But again, I did the responsible thing. Look at me growing up. Look at me becoming mature. Who would have thought it? It only took 42 years. That's all. Augustine reminded me that the World Cup is coming up. It is. I am waiting to hear back. To make up for not going to the NFL draft, your boy might be going to Kansas City. Just throwing that out there so you know, Augustine. Might be going to Kansas City. I should find out by the end of this week. Beastrill saying, what's up, Augustine? I do like the I do like the BA logo. Brian S. Arndt. But I miss like the one ass cheek, three toes. What happened here? Or maybe that's something different. I don't know. But I like it. Either way, I like it. I'm happy with it. Whenever I get a chance to see some of the stuff you're doing, Strilla, you know I got nothing but love. Always supporting as much as I can. It's just been a lot to get to this point. A lot to get here. Not going to bore you all with everything that I had to deal with, but it was a lot to finally get to this point again. 8 o'clock in the morning, able to do the show. Still got to go to work after this. I'm going to be putting in long days. But I get to watch baseball and soccer, man. How awesome is that? Still trying to learn soccer. Our El Paso Locomotive, undefeated, dominated the Hartford team. Don't even know what they're called, but dominated them 4-0. I was also watching their TV broadcast. Got some things to say about that. The soccer broadcast will get better. That one I promise. On our end, the soccer broadcast will get better. Strill saying, it's not one ass cheek, three toes time just yet. Are you like Tommy? Do you wait for draft day and then you're like, hey, it's all NFL? Because I'm one of these weird dudes. Like, I don't wear like a jersey or NFL things until the NFL season. And the same thing with like basketball, right? Like I support my school. I graduated from UTEP, so I support them as best I can. But I I don't wear basketball stuff outside of basketball season. I don't wear baseball stuff outside of baseball season. I don't wear football stuff outside of football season. And to me, football season doesn't start with the draft. Like, okay, sure, you got something. It's also been a pretty slow offseason football-wise, now that I'm thinking about it. B. Strilla's always going to be remembered for it's time to rub off, for Tip to rub off, or rock hard lineman. Strilla saying, yeah, my season starts with the draft, as our show does. There we go. That's what I love to hear. I'll be tuning in. I want to get all the insight that I can about the Detroit Lions. So that way, whenever the Dallas Cowboys play them again, we will dominate that ass. Tommy's saying, it's not the broadcast that's the problem. It's the soccer. The team's good. The team is good. I'm still trying to learn soccer. I forgot to tell y'all, yesterday was an extra inning game for the El Paso Chihuahuas. On top of all the extra duty stuff that I had to do, like just, making sure I'm getting all the things done that I had to do. Had a camera person go down, so I had to go out and work a camera for a little bit. All the audio stuff, working the audio board. I also had to jump in and do PA for an inning-ish, half an inning, and like 2 outs. It was good. Augustine saying the Detroit Chokers and the Dallas Losers. You're better than that. You can come up with so much better than that. Like so much better than that. Oh, man. That was, Augustine. Here we go. Take the glasses off. Got to keep the hat on. Got to be maximum dad here. Augustine, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Your insults could be so much better than that. Do better. I know you can do better. Come on now. I know it's been a while. We all got to knock the rust off. But you can be better than that, Augustine. I know you can. Let's tighten it up. We can do better than that. Tommy saying draft, mini caps, training camp, preseason, then football. Augustine says, I'm at the office in a Teams meeting. Jesus Christ, dude. I do want to do a show one of these days from the baseball stadium. I think that would be fun. Find a good spot, set the camera up, just hang out, do the show there. Tommy saying you give him too much credit, LOL. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, guys. Again, y'all already know this, but it goes without saying each and every time. I got nothing but love for y'all. The fact that I was gone for as long as I was gone and was able to have y'all come back. Even at the start of the show, there was a fair amount of people that were tuned in that I didn't know who they were. So nice to see that type of stuff. We were able to get a little bit of forward momentum going after being gone for 6 months, bouncing around, doing a couple shows and stuff like that here and there, but not able to do this thing that I absolutely love. I am back for the foreseeable future, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. There are going to be some Wednesdays that I'm not going to be able to do, but I will let you all know about that. We have day games. April and May, we have day games. In June, July, I'll be able to do a full week. August, September, back to day games and on Wednesday. Go out to those day games. If you haven't been to an El Paso Chihuahuas day game for some baseball and some day drinking, you aren't living your life. It is an absolute party out there. And yeah, slide into my DMs. Maybe your boy can hook you up with something. I'm front office management now. Somebody made a mistake somewhere, giving me responsibilities. One of these days, like I'll apply for a job with like an NFL team or something. And they're going to be like, so we pulled up this background on you. What is this meat slinger? What is this getting drunk on the internet? What's all this about? I'm like, hey, don't look at that. Look over here. This right here. The charming man that I am. I could get fired one of these days from a job I don't even have. Once again, everybody, thank you so much. I got nothing but love for you. We'll see you all tomorrow on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton.